Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Bitcoin is currently hanging out above $106,000. Seems crazy to say that, certainly after the last few weeks and considering where we were just a couple of months ago, down around 60,000, 70,000, trying to break out from that summer range. And today's video, I want to take a look at cryptocurrency stocks. So this is a series that we do every week or every other week on the channel. Obviously, I normally cover those stocks that either mine Bitcoin or they hold a lot of Bitcoin. So examples will be Marathon or Riot Blockchain, Microstrategy. We also like to look at Tesla as well. So those are some of the stocks I'm going to look at today. If that sounds interesting, please do keep watching because I think you will be interested in what I have to talk about. So we're going to start with BitFarms. We usually go through these alphabetically. And as we've been talking about on some of our recent streams about BitFarms, BitFarms has been struggling quite a bit. A few of the crypto miners, to be honest with you, have been struggling quite a lot this cycle. We haven't seen the explosive gains that we saw at the end of 2020. Obviously, 4 years on, now we're at the end of 2024. This is when we would have expected to see some really, really explosive price action. And so far, it hasn't happened. So, will some of these crypto mining stocks catch up? And we can see that Bitfarms in particular is currently struggling with this descending trend line. So what I'd really like to see here is for Bitfarms to push up and to get above this $2.87 level. Obviously, this was support in the last bull market and it's been resistance for us. We have got above it a couple of times, but it has been pretty significant resistance for us so far this bull run. So what we really need to do is see closes above this descending trend line, closing above the 2.87 level convincingly, ideally above $3, and start to get acceptance up there and then start to push on higher. And just in terms of targets, I'd be expecting from Bitfarms, we're probably going to be looking at something like the $4.10 as the initial target on the 618, sorry, on the 382. But from there, I think we should be looking at around about $5.20, then up to around $6.30. Obviously, $6.30 would be a pretty nice 3x from where we are right now. Look, I think that a stock such as Bitfarms or any Bitcoin mining stock should at least be getting or giving you that sort of return over this cycle. I'd like to think that if the market really got going and we saw Bitcoin going to much higher prices, i.e., 120,000, 130,000, maybe 150 or 160,000, we'd see some of these mining stocks really start to explode. And I think really my target for this cycle would be back towards all-time highs for Bitfarms at around about $10. But obviously, we've got to bear in mind that a lot of these companies do dilute their stock as they go through, especially the bear market. Obviously, their income comes down a lot. They have to try and stay alive. And I think with something like a Bitfarms, this could be the case. This could be the case with quite a few of these crypto mining stocks. So let's see if Bitfarms can put in a move here. But right now, it's certainly looking fairly weak until we can get really above $3 and start to then push onto the upside. So one mining stock which has been stronger is Bitdeer. So Bitdeer really, really exploding over the last month, really since the start of November. We've seen prices go from around sort of $7 to $8 in October, all the way up to 20, well, as high as $25.50 this week so far. That's obviously today. So yeah, today we've actually made a new all-time high. So in contrast to Bitfarms, it seems like Bitdeer have obviously got their strategy right when it comes to their mining operations. And obviously the market is pricing them right now at a nice premium. We have come up, we have hit the 1.618. We've actually not had a weekly close above there yet, but we are working on a weekly close above there right now. And if Bitdeer can push on from this level, I would be targeting the 2.618 at $34, which would Still be about another 50% from here. Obviously, things could get crazier from there, but I think that Bitdeer is looking fairly good. 3.21 billion as a market cap. I'm just curious to see what BitFarms is on its market cap. Market cap. So Bitdeer is a bigger operation than BitFarms, and the thing is, it's normally tends to be survival of the fittest, especially when it comes to Bitcoin mining stocks. Obviously, they're all sort of competing for the available supply of Bitcoin that is obviously consistently diminishing, obviously diminished again earlier this year with the halving. So I think Bitdeer is looking strong. If we can close here, then potentially we get a further push up to above sort of $30 around to around $34. So I quite like Bitdeer here. CIFR on a really big day today, 18.19% up, and you can see it's starting to take off. So this is kind of the price action that you want to see from your Bitdeer and from your CIFR. This is kind of the explosive price action that we've seen over the last few weeks. And really, I've got to be saying with something like CIFR, we need to clear this zero point 0.5 level. If price can clear the zero point 0.5 level, then we can look up to what I think will probably be more significant resistance around $10. Obviously, big round number. And obviously, it's the underside of the range from the last bull run. Acceptance above there would open the door up to around sort of $15, $16, which would be around about a 2x from price currently, which I think should be completely reasonable to expect in a Bitcoin bull run, especially the type of Bitcoin bull run that we're currently seeing. So I do like CIFR here. It's certainly looking stronger than BitFarms. No, it's not on all-time highs such as Bitdeer, but yeah, it's not the worst chart that we've seen. So Cleanspark is really struggling. This has gone from one of the leaders in terms of mining returns to really one of the weaker ones now. And if we look at its move up from September, I mean, I guess you could say it's 50% up. That's not too bad, but we've really struggled to get momentum going here. And we seem to have rejected off the range from where we were earlier on in the year. So similar to BitFarms, Cleanspark really needs to push up and break this descending trend line. Only at that point can we really say that this has a chance of coming up and hitting higher prices. And I mean, this is one of my larger holdings myself. I'd be pretty disappointed if this did not push on from here, break out this descending trend line and make its way back to its all-time highs soon. As you can see, just the contrast between, 2020, 4 years ago, and how the price was really exploding into early 2021 and throughout the end December 2020. Obviously, we're in the middle of December 2024 now, so you'd really expect to see this market start to pick up over the next few weeks if we're actually going to get the moves that a lot of us are here for. So Clearspark again is not looking very strong. I put it in the same category as BitFarms as a relatively weak miner. Obviously, Bitdeer and CIFR are looking a lot better. So Coinbase is obviously not a mining stock, but it is one that we want to cover as a crypto stock. And we can see that Coinbase has broken out its descending trend line. It's finding acceptance above its descending trend line. And look, I think it's a matter of time before Coinbase comes up to all-time highs, which was its actual highs from its initial IPO. So we can see that we're just shy of $100 short of that right now, but that would be another sort of 35% move up to that level. And then from there, we'd be able to start to target some extension targets. And I think, look, if you're buying Coinbase here, ultimately you're going to want to at least get a 2x over the next year in what should be the most bullish year for crypto, maybe one of the most bullish years we've ever seen for crypto with everything that's going on, talks of strategic reserves and mass adoption left, right, and center. So, yes, let's see whether Coinbase can push on. I mean, it should do with breaking to where it has done. So Hut is one that was really looking very, very weak earlier on this year. It didn't have the big pumps like a lot of the other miners did at the start of this year, but it is now coming back to life. It has taken out its yearly highs and it is finding acceptance back in its previous range from the last bull run, which is more than can be said for some of the other mining stocks that we've looked at. So for me, it looks like Hut could actually make a push here and look to get closer to this sort of 618 around the sort of 50 to $55 level. And from there, you'd hope that it would be able to target its all-time highs again. So Hut is looking fairly strong, and it's probably not a bad entry around where it is right now. Marathon have obviously decided to implement their own Bitcoin strategy, so they're starting to sell convertible notes. I believe Riot are actually doing the same thing as well. So taking a leaf out of the Sailor playbook, and I think this is probably a fairly smart move, especially if we continue to see Bitcoin trending higher throughout the course of this year. You'd expect a company such as Mara that is now starting to stack sats, stack Bitcoins on its balance sheet. It should start to benefit from that. And surely I think Mara, like with Hut, it's not quite at its highs for the year, but it is back within its previous range from the last bull run. What I'd really like to see is this level here taken out. So around about sort of 32.72. That is quite a major level, or 32.74, should we call it? If we can get above there, obviously we will make new yearly highs. It might not happen this year yet. It might happen next year, but we will make new bull market highs for this bull run. And then I would like to think that Mara could push back towards its all-time highs. So still with plenty of work to do for Mara. Without doubt, the best performing cryptocurrency stock in the land is MicroStrategy, and you can see just a straight up parabola, which seems to be taking a little bit of a breather at the moment. But I'm pretty confident on MicroStrategy coming up and tagging some higher levels. And if we actually take a look at this, we can see that sort of from the start of this parabolic move, we've come back down and we have tagged just shy of the zero point 0.5. We've actually based off our 0.382 Fibonacci retracement, which is a bullish fib. So that is healthy to see. Now what we're really looking for on MicroStrategy is a close above 440, which will then open the door for MicroStrategy to retest its all-time highs. And look, I personally think that MicroStrategy probably trades up to this $669 level over the next few weeks. Obviously, if you were getting in around these levels, like the low from here is basically 340. So times two, you've got 680. Obviously, 669 is not far off that. So that would sort of coincide with this move, the bottom of this pullback giving a 2x, which I think a lot of traders, investors, or smart money that have bought down here will probably, as a minimum, be looking for a 2x from this. Obviously, MicroStrategy, a stock that's getting a lot of attention. It's about to be listed on the NASDAQ as well, which is going to drive more money into the stock, because every time somebody buys the QQQs or the NASDAQ 100 trackers or ETFs, they will be forced to buy MicroStrategy stock because it's now included in that index of top 100 tech stocks. So this is very bullish because it means there's going to be more buying coming in for MicroStrategy. That's going to be putting upward pressure on the share price for MicroStrategy. I wonder what MicroStrategy is then going to do with that increased valuation. Probably buy more Bitcoin. Bitcoin goes up, more people want exposure to Bitcoin, so more people buy the MicroStrategy bonds, and it becomes that flywheel effect. And I really think MicroStrategy does go a lot higher, at least to this 669 level, potentially up to 873. And then you start looking at the $1,000 per share number, which I think from current price, given where we are in the cycle, given the fact we're about to go into 2025, which is historically going to be that bullish year, that year after the halving, then yeah, I really, really think that some good things are to come still for MicroStrategy, and we can kind of see how it absolutely has eclipsed where it got to in 2021. MicroStrategy really topping out. If we just take a look back at the last cycle, then we can see that MicroStrategy topped out the first week of February. So if we look at where we were back in December time, you can see we had a push up. We started to consolidate a bit sideways. And then at the end of December and into January, the price really then started to accelerate for a good month. And yeah, potentially does that happen again with MicroStrategy now? Obviously, we've seen this explosive move. We started to get some consolidation. Do we consolidate for another week and then make a push throughout January and February of next year and start targeting some of these higher targets? Potentially, who knows? I do still feel that MicroStrategy has not yet topped for the cycle. Obviously, the Tom DeMark weekly 9 providing some resistance. Likely, we get some consolidation. That's exactly what we've seen. We've had one, two, three, working on a fourth week of consolidation. It tends to be a 1 to 4 candle correction off a Tom DeMark sell. So I really do think that MicroStrategy is looking good here for another push higher soon. So looking at Riot Blockchain then, and we can see that Riot has also been struggling. It's not at its yearly all-time highs. It's actually currently sitting below a diagonal trend line here that we can put on this chart. And until it gets above this, things look fairly weak. But I think based on the price action, we seem to be looking quite constructive here. And if Riot Blockchain can get above this sort of $15.5 level, 15.8, call it, from the previous swing high and above the descending trend line, then yes, I think Riot could definitely run on. Probably next step would be around about $21. And then potentially it comes up into the range from the last bull run and looks to make its way back close to its all-time highs, although they do seem a very long way away for now. Obviously, there will be resistance on the way, but really it needs to get back above this sort of $21. And you'd then be looking for it to get above sort of $41, $42 and this swing high here at 46 before being able to put in any more significant moves. So still quite a lot of work for Riot to do there. And I think we'll probably just cover one more stock here, and that will be Tesla. Obviously, we've done most of the major miners. So Tesla, we can see new all-time highs, absolutely exploding. I did make a video on the channel about Tesla back when it was down at sort of these levels back earlier on this year when it was breaking down around sort of I think it was around 180, 170, saying that I thought Tesla was a good buy and to sort of lean in here. And I had this ascending trend line as a potential target. That's exactly where we came down to. And look, I mean, I just feel like Tesla has such a bullish narrative right now. Obviously, Elon Musk is now involved with the US government. There's probably going to be a lot more favorable regulation on his companies over the next 4 years. And it's got every single narrative out there going for it. I remember talking to people about Tesla earlier on in the year and saying I was really bullish on Tesla. They've been my biggest stock holding on my copy trading account for some time, and people were telling me I want an AI pick. AI is the future. Well, how can I invest in AI? What about Elon Musk? And I said, well, invest in Tesla then, because we've seen that his Optimus robots and a lot of the AI technology he's developing through the Tesla brand. And they were like, oh no, it's just the car company. And they didn't listen to me and they didn't invest. But actually, that's exactly what we've seen happen. And a lot of people that were saying, like, Tesla, like don't buy them, they're overvalued, the competition from China, that they're going to be priced out of the market and all this sort of thing. Absolute nonsense, because Tesla's just going from strength to strength. It's a good American company. They've got the best technology. They're heads and shoulders, ahead of the competition when it comes to driverless, when it comes to battery technology, when it comes to all of their sort of self-driving systems. They've got robo taxis. They've just got everything. The Optimus robots, which are just mind blowing. So I really think Tesla's going to do well. If we were going to reject at this all-time high, we would have done so already. We've broken through that. We've had one weekly close. We're looking like we'll probably get a second weekly close through. And really, I think Tesla makes its way up towards $600 over the next few weeks and months. I can't really see any other path for Tesla from here other than remaining to push up higher. So I'm going to wrap it up there. Thank you very much for watching. If you have enjoyed this video, please do consider giving it a like. Also, if you've enjoyed this content and you're not subscribed, please do subscribe to the channel. I do daily updates on Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and Pepe. And also, I'm going to be making many more of these updates on the crypto stocks, hopefully every week, if not definitely every other week. So there will be regular videos coming up on the crypto stocks. There's other videos I've got about altcoin picks, about meme coin picks. So if you are interested in crypto and you're looking to maximize your returns this cycle, you really can't afford to miss out on some of the picks I'm sharing. A lot of the picks I've already shared are doing very, very well. I'd like to think the calls on the daily GM streams are also doing great. So you know where you need to be if you want to get the alpha. So there we go. I'm going to wrap it up. Have a fantastic day and talk to you all again soon.